Hey everybody, it's Chris Kirkpatrick with Life 180, and I am here with my buddy Caleb Williams from Better Wealth, and really excited because Caleb and I have been doing a lot of work together, a lot of videos together, and I actually came up to Denver for the day to do some videos with him, and because we were talking about the content that we've made together so far. It's had such an amazing response. People have been asking for more, and so we're here to serve.
Here we are in the studio.
Studio. And so out of all the questions that we got, we thought it would be really good to do what we call the And Asset mini-series. And the reason is because Caleb has written a book called The And Asset. If you haven't seen it yet, I've offered for him to buy it for you. And,
he's a good negotiator.
So you can go to Amazon, you could buy it for $20, or you can click on the link below and Caleb will buy it for you, and you just have to pay the shipping and he will send it to you. And so that's that. It's really simple. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a couple video series going through what is the And Asset, what does it mean, and why don't you do me a favor and just kind of explain what this little mini series is going to include.
Right. When I talk about the And Asset for people, we have a process that we help people walk through. See, the And Asset is overfunded life insurance, and you can go on YouTube, you can get a lot of content, and we have actually a lot of videos on the numbers behind how this works. But what I find is a lot of people are missing the mindset and aren't understanding the process of how this works. So what this mini series is going to do is we're going to take the numbers out, because we can always show you the numbers. There's videos that show numbers, but I'm going to share with you why, when set up and used properly, that this is the greatest financial vehicle and product that you can store your money. But if I just stop there, then we're comparing it to everything else. The reason this is called the And Asset is the use component, the control component that comes along with this, makes it extremely powerful. And when people get this, Chris, it's I think there's going to be a lot of aha moments, and I think there might be potential anger saying, why didn't I know about this sooner?
I know that's going to be the case.
If I had $1 for every time someone said that to me, I would have a nicer studio.
Nice. The studio's pretty nice though.
All right, you want to turn on the whiteboard?
You got it.
All right, so when we talk about the And Asset, we first have to get the person and the order right. And I'm drawing a person. This is about as good of a human drawing as I'm gonna do. I went to a great art school but did not go and take any art classes. But the reality is this: anything that we do with our money needs to be able to serve you. End of story. We talk about ROR at our company, standing for return on result, and we are obsessed with helping people get results, understanding what their why is. We ask people questions: what would you do if money wasn't an issue? How do you define financial success? And we want to know what a win looks like for a human being. And this is a really, really simple way to know if this is a good thing or a bad thing for your life. If a financial strategy is not serving you to show up more powerfully today in your life, then it's not right for you.
I love it.
Okay, so the first thing is we get super clear on what you're all about. Now, the And Asset is essentially an overfunded life insurance policy, and we have videos that go into it. I think I drew my drawing, but essentially is we're overpaying for life insurance. We're minimizing the insurance benefit, because it's not a fee, but it's a permanent cost that eventually will pay off, but it's a little bit of a drag to your money. So what we want to do is we want to minimize that. We're maximizing the cash out you can put in, and when you have that set up, you get a bunch of living benefits, and those living benefits are essentially your cash growing, tax advantage, but you still have access to use of that cash. And I want to break down 6 categories that when you set up an And Asset, these 6 categories are really going to shine in your life, and it's going to be really, really exciting.
Awesome.
All right, so if I was artistic enough, I would actually draw the And symbol, but I'm just going to draw a dollar bill here. But this is your And Asset. You're funding money in your And Asset, and the first thing to note is that your dollars are going to grow the rest of your life. See, we talk a lot about lifetime compound growth, and the difference between lifetime, Chris, versus what most people are doing is they are playing a retirement game, and this line will represent what most people are investing or saving their money to. They're literally saying on one hand that compound interest is this amazing wonder of the world, but on the other, they're creating strategies that essentially have them spend that money.
Once you're retired, don't worry about that wonder of the world anymore. Just stop it.
Yeah, just forget about it, and it's killing the goose that's laying the golden egg. And so let's talk about why people are not getting lifetime compound growth. Well, number one, it's time. We covered that. It's either not starting or stopping too early. When should you ever stop compounding growth? Never. It's losses, and really, when we talk about losses, I love to use the example of, every time you lose $1, you don't just lose that dollar, you lose what that dollar can earn you the rest of your life. And this shows up in market losses, it shows up in fees, it shows up in taxes. And so I'll just, what represents losses is you can have fees, you can have taxes, you can have market losses, and essentially, we've had other videos that we've shot. Every time you lose $1, you don't just lose that dollar, you lose what that dollar can earn you the rest of your life. It's incredibly damaging and really hurts people as it relates to their financial life. And then finally, most people don't compound their money because they use it throughout their life, and I believe that your greatest financial need is using money. Okay, so step number one, if all we could do, Chris, is help you grow your money for the rest of your life, without taxes, without losses, without fees, without market loss, with taking advantage of time and showing you a way to use your money without actually using it, wouldn't that outperform most investments?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we're not playing that this is better than any investment. The and conversation is going to wipe everyone off the table.
And you're going to get there.
I'm going to get there, but the point is, I could make the argument when we look at this lifetime and actually generationally, that this will outperform most of the way that people are investing, because again, we're not on the same playing field. Okay, so that's step number one. Step number two is the control and use, and we talked a lot about this actually in the 401k video, but I believe that controlling your money is by far the most important thing as it relates to your life.
Yep.
I've noted or been noted for saying that if we're going to call the 8th wonder of the world compounding, the 9th wonder is control, and if you give me an option between one or the other, I'm going to choose control every day of the week.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what do we mean by control? We mean accessing your money and really being able to use it. I'm going to get into another video in this series about how we actually do that, but we're essentially using what I call controlled compounding. You're able to borrow against your money while it continues to grow and use that capital throughout your life. And in the first year or two, it doesn't radically change your life. But over a long period of time, it is the only way to have your money grow the rest of your life and still be able to use it. And the biggest thing that we talk about is, what is the rate of return? What's a return on investment for being able to use your money throughout your life? What opportunities would you be able to really make? And there's another phrase that we use, it's called hostage cost.
Okay?
Your money is, if you don't have control, your money's held hostage. What is that actually going to cost you over your life? And so another core value is, if we can show you the best, most efficient way to use capital throughout your life, whether you're an entrepreneur, that's a no-brainer. If you're an investor, it's a no-brainer. If you're into real estate, it's a no-brainer. If you're employed for someone and doing that, it may not be a no-brainer, but I would make the argument that being able to control money, control the flow of cash throughout your life is absolutely going to be in your best interest, and we can show you, well, there's another step on how this will be truly help you in your life.
That's awesome.
All right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so the third element is going to be future cash flow. And so future cash flow is this idea of retirement. And I'm gonna do a video that breaks this down as well. But we talk about the goal of climbing a mountain. We're in Colorado. Is the goal of climbing a mountain to get to the top or get it back down safely? Thinking with the end in mind, you want to get back down safely, because I wouldn't climb that mountain if I knew that there was a way for me not to get back down. And the sad reality is this: because of losses, because of taxes, because of how most financial plans are set up, most people are dying, if you want to use that word, or running out of money as it relates to their financial life.
It's true.
And life insurance and the AND asset unlocks so many strategies, whether it's using the policy itself, whether it's using it with a pension, whether it's using it with an annuity, whether it's using it with your stock account, whether it's using different strategies like reverse mortgages, or so many other things. It truly is that AND component unlocks and gives you more cash flow. And here's what I want to challenge you on. If all you are focused on is a number at retirement, I don't want to be too strong, but like I would ask you to rethink why you're even saving for retirement to begin with. Are you saving it so that you have $1 million or some fancy number? Or are you saving it for an objective? And most of the time people are saving it because they want cash flow. And so what I'm telling you is if you understand how this translates in your life, your cash flow will be maximized, and you'll actually have more money at quote unquote retirement. Although I don't like that word, it's something that everyone is doing, and all financial gurus are telling you how you can retire faster, and I'm telling you that the and asset will enhance that.
Love it.
All right. So the fourth area is taking this dollar and protecting not only your cash but yourself. And so I'm going to talk about protection, but then I'm also going to do /legacy. And it was interesting when I first started this company, we had a strategy called the Legacy Wealth Strategy. And essentially the thing was how you can live your legacy immediately. Don't wait 40, 50, 60 years to start your legacy, live it today. And the crazy thing is, because the and asset is life insurance, every dollar that you put in is not just going to grow the rest of your life. It's not just going to be able to be used and controlled. It's not only going to show up powerfully in retirement, but that same dollar is going to protect your money and protect your life and protect your future income for coming in. And so let me talk about 3 potential things that the and asset can do. 2 of them are not optional. 1 is an optional rider that you could add to your and asset. So number 1 is a death benefit.
Yep.
A death benefit is essentially if something happens to you prematurely, this will show up in your life, and this will help you, pay for things that you would have earned. So another way to say this is you would have earned so much money throughout your life, and this is a way to protect and ensure that money will show up in your family, in your estate, whether you earn it or not. And it also can protect, because some people actually need the life insurance. Because whether it's debts or other things that they have in their life, they need that. So we're talking about that, but then there's also riders like a chronic illness rider, or we can't call it long-term care, but it's essentially if you have a long-term care event, if you need to go into a nursing home, if you have a terminal illness, there's ways that you can spend the death benefit while still living. And that's just another benefit that the and asset has that allows you, again, I hope you never have to use it, but if you do, it's there for you. The third rider that's optional, we don't do this with everyone, but some people choose to have it, is what's called a waiver of premium. And essentially what this does is if something happens to you, if you get disabled and you can't fund your and asset, the and asset will fund itself.
Yeah.
What other investment, what other financial strategy will actually self-complete?
That's awesome.
So whether it's you dying, whether you getting terminally ill, or whether you getting disabled, you can set up from day one this to be a self-completing plan. And again, we don't talk a ton about those things, but it's important. I don't need to do this. I technically am single as recording this. I don't have a lot of debts. I don't need life insurance yet. I have over $8 million of life insurance. Why? Because I have all the living benefits that I want. And oh, by the way, if something happens to me, I guess I'm worth over $8 million. Not that matters at all, but like that's the mindset that we need to have, right? So the fourth area, or the fifth area, is, and this is probably one of the most profound statements, this and asset allows you to save more money. You can save more money in your life when you have a strategy like this. And here's what I mean. If I just showed you a place where you could get a great rate of return, but you couldn't touch that money in 30 years, you would have a dilemma of should I do this or should I do this?
Yeah.
And you'd be diversifying, you'd be hedging. Totally. If I'm telling you, Chris, that you could take $1 and it's going to grow the rest of your life, and when or if or whenever that time period that you want to access money, you can access it without hurting the growth. How much money do you want to save?
As much as possible.
As much as possible. With our company, and this is what I'm most proud of, we're helping people triple their savings because we understand the process of this. And there's more than just, we do other things like optimization outlooks and really helping people find the money. But when we find the dollar, you can save a lot more because you don't have this dilemma between should I use it or should I grow it? You can do both. And I'm telling you, that is so profound. And also something that comes up is I can get a better rate of return. I can get a better rate of return than your and asset, because over a long period of time we're looking at 3, 4, 5%, tax-free growth rate, which it's only about 7 to 8%, when you add taxes and fees to it.
Sure.
Which, to be honest, if you're an entrepreneur or a real estate investor, you can get a better rate of return. Now, again, we're playing a lifetime game, but when you understand that it's an and component, you can't beat the rate of return, because this can be leveraged and you can go put it in
real estate or in whatever you want to do,
or in the market. And so the point is, you can save a lot more money, and the volume of savings is so great. There's an example that R. Nelson Nash in his book Becoming Your Own Banker uses, and he uses the example of actually giving a shot. And he says, Chris, do you care about the rate of which of the fluids going into your arm, or the volume?
The
volume, because if we have so much, I don't know what's in there.
Antibiotics. If you need antibiotics to knock something out, it's the volume.
It's the volume. Matters. It's not the rate of which it goes in. And yet everyone is focused on the rate of return. And I'm telling you, if you can figure out a financial strategy where you can save more money, by default, you're gonna be way farther ahead.
Well, and that comes back to the concept. If you can come up with a strategy where you can save more money without really changing your quality of life, then you can accomplish more with less risk. And then find the opportunities.
Personally, I think there's 2 aha moments. It's the being able to grow your money and use it at the same time, but then also tack on being able to save more money, I think, is the real value of this.
And that's optimization.
Yes. So finally, the 6th benefit, drum roll please. It's you are your number 1 asset. And as cliche as this sounds, I believe that the number 1 investment you can make is in yourself. Like the best rate of return, or return on result that you can have, is if you're in a good place. And my point is, just like you're able to save more money when all these components are happening, I believe you are able to show up more powerfully in your life as a parent, as a business owner, as an investor, as someone that's just trying to be present with the people that you love the most. I just believe that this is more powerful when you have your dollar, a strong foundation. We talked about, you have a great video on the pyramid. If you have that proper savings, but you're doing things, but you know that your dollar can do 6 jobs rather than 1. And I just think that the best investment you can make, as passionate as I am about the and asset, at the end of the day, it is a product. It's a strategy. But the most important thing that you can have is a mindset to truly take your life to the next level. And so we can go into maybe a couple more videos that flesh out a couple of these more.
Let's get a little deeper.
But this gives a big overview, and I want people to get the power of this, because if people understood this, man, there'd be a line outside the door. And
it's the truth.
I'm excited to serve as many people in your audience as possible.
That's amazing. So, guys, if you have any questions or comments, please comment below. I'm going to be checking this video all the time. I get notified with every comment. I have it set so my email gets blown up every time there's a comment. So I want to make sure that we're engaging, that we're serving, and that we're helping. If you have any questions about any of this, we want to be there to serve. So do comment, do engage. We do engage back. And anyway, we're going to get a little deeper into this. So be on the lookout for the next video. But until next time, we'll see you there.